Yeah. You already know. The galactic one. Evanute.L. We back cracking spells. Shout out to all the galactic guardians, 720 degrees. Shout out to the whole UR, everybody living in that universal right order. Shout out to the House of Consciousness, Connecticut chapter. This message being brought to you by K.O.R TV, Kingdom of Righteousness TV. The show is called Wake Up Sheeple. Y'all already know how we do. About to jump right into the demonstration. I say to all the great prophets, ancestors, aiders, messiahs, messengers who came before, making this platform available so we could be here today, giving you the message. I say, jumping right into the demo on this self-study Wednesdays. We're going to be brief and run through it real quick. And let's talk about it. We're going to talk about the higher and lower self, the four higher senses, and we're going to talk about the Barathary gland. You heard? We're going to talk about the higher self, the four higher senses, and the Barathary gland, or the Barathary gland, right? Barathary gland. Remember that word Bara? We talked about that on another demo I just did. It means to create. It means to shape. So, before we embark, we're going to jump into the math real quick. 8 and 7 is 15. Plus the 2, you get 17. Plus the 2, you get 19. Plus the 4, you get 23. You get that Michael Jordan. So we talking about wisdom, understanding. You know what I'm saying? We talking about wisdom, understanding of the mind, because that's what we dealing with today. We talking about self and we talking about the mind, but the math just coincides to give us a better way to build, right? Because wisdom is the way you speak, right? And we talking about understanding is the seeds, that's the sauce, right? So we got to be mindful of how we speak to the stars, the children, because there's power in that. 2 + 3 = 5. So it's all being born of power, refinement, the truth that'll change things. So we got to be truthful about certain things. We all have a higher and lower self aspect to ourselves. The whole concept of God and the devil is the higher and lower self concept. God and the devil is a religious concept. Higher self and lower self is more of a spiritual concept, and we talking, you know, when spirit meets science type shit. You know what I mean? So, spirit science, in a sense. Right? How do you know you have a higher and lower self? Because you have a body. A body, which is your best teacher out here on the planet. You know what I'm saying? The body gonna let you know what's up, but that's through the mind. You know, the non-tangible part to you. You dig what I'm saying? So understand the mind is not visible, it's not tangible, it's not your body. But it's more in the astral. You know what I'm saying? It's more in the astral planes. And its magnitude can't be measured. You dig what I'm saying? So its magnitude can't be measured. Remember, the word mind is like mine when you mine for gold. So the deeper you dig into the mine, the more gold you come upon, right? You dig what I'm saying? The more you strike gold. So the mind that we talking about, or that the mind that we can comprehend, remember, it's not tangible. It's like Cerebral and X-Men when Professor X put that helmet on. The mind, everything's all connected, interlocked in one mind, one sense. It's one mind connectivity. You know what I'm saying? Naturally, we have been, if Africa, feel me, divided up, broken up. The mind has been Africaed. You dig what I'm saying? They Africanized the mind, which means to break up into pieces, to divide into pieces. Ifria, right? Ifria. So, the mind carries all feelings, ideas, impressions, and forms of this life, as well as knowledge of what is to come, as well as intuitive knowledge of what is to come, right? So the mind can basically got psychic abilities. You dig what I'm saying? Where they talk about ESP, extrasensory perceptions, and things like that, which is your normal sensory perception, because it was part of your Barathary gland or your Barathary gland that was removed, right? You know, it was removed from human beings, and then human beings became mankind once they lost the Barathary gland aspect of the mind. And that's what Enos. Remember, we talked about Enos on another demo, right? Because Enos means to be forgetful. It means mankind. You know what I'm saying? So overstand, it was removed from Adam and Eve and them at that time. That's when the Barathary gland was taken out. You dig what I'm saying? Because it was with that gland you was able to have these extrasensory perceptions and connect you to the Elohim. You dig what I'm saying? You would have been able to communicate directly with the Elohim more easily than we do now. The reason why we still have extrasensories on our brain, because when they removed it, they couldn't remove all of the glands off the nerves of the hippocampus area in your brain, because that's where it was at, in that hippocampus area of your brain. So they couldn't remove all the nerves, right? Nerve endings, because it would have damaged, you know what I'm saying, the whole mind aspect of you. So this is why you have innate abilities like telepathy, which is mental communication, clairvoyance, which is clear sight, seeing in other dimensions, psychometry, which is object reading, when you pick up something and you can tell, you know what I'm saying, or get the feeling like, oh shit, somebody died here, or whatever it is. That's psychometry. Intuition is that mind perception. And then you have touch, the sense of touch, because you've been deceived to think that your five senses were see, touch, taste, hear, and smell, when that's just all the sense of touch. Because light has to touch your optic nerves for you to see. For you to hear, sound has to touch your eardrum. For you to taste, you gotta touch your taste buds. You dig what I'm saying? For you to smell, it has to touch the nose particles. You dig what I'm saying? So overstand, you don't see outside of your face. Things are projected inward, and you're getting the mental projection of what you're actually seeing, because it's all taking place in the mind. You dig what I'm saying? That's how powerful the mind is. And so overstand, it was in that hippocampus area where that Barathary gland was at. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, you know, this is why they removed your appendix and your tonsils, because it was connected to all of that. That's why they take those parts of the body out easily. But that's that part of the brain where we talk about hallucinating. So when niggas hit certain drugs, they call drugs gateway drugs, right? And so you start to hallucinate. You go into that area of the brain. You know what I'm saying? And so, like I said, you have those 4 higher senses that you can tap into, but it's really 9 higher senses. If you really want to get technical, I'm just putting y'all on to get y'all to start studying more. You know what I'm saying? Remember, Bara means to create and shape. So it's called the Barathary gland. Barathary gland, right? So that's where the imagination lies. Your imagination. Magi. I, the third eye, magi, nation. You dig what I'm saying? The action of creating. You know what I'm saying? So, overstand, you have various forms of extrasensory perceptions in your brain. You dig what I'm saying? And so if you're not utilizing these shits, or you, like my man said the other day, I'm talking to my man Fal on the phone, he hit me, and he like, yo, you know, lately, I've been tapping in because I've been seeing, like, you know, before I even touch the phone, what I'm thinking, it'll be pop up on the phone before I could even touch it. So that's because thoughts travel in waves coming from the mind. You know what I'm saying? So you gotta be careful what you think. You know what I'm saying? This is why the ancient Commissioner priests had schools of thought where they just watched their thoughts for 40 years. This is how they became high priest type shit. You dig what I'm saying? Because they had to monitor the thoughts and say, why am I thinking what I'm thinking? Who's sending the signal? Am I creating that through the Barathary, or is somebody sending that shit in me? You dig what I'm saying? So, and we not gonna say people don't, Jesus and all the motherfuckers said they heard voices like God and different people talking to them from a bush and all this shit. So these niggas is either crazy, hallucinating, you dig what I'm saying, or tapped into the Barathary gland where they communicating with the Elohim. So when I do it, don't judge me, motherfucker. You dig what I'm saying? You dig what I'm saying? So overstand, when you tap into self more, you start to overstand, you have these innate abilities within you where you can mentally communicate. You don't need the phone. What you think sitting in the car and both of y'all smoking a blunt, and then one person think a thought like, yo, I'm about to have some fries right now, some chili cheese. Oh, I was just thinking the same thing. It was all in the thought wave, nigga. It came out in the wave. Dig what I'm saying? The thought was already there. Y'all both picked up on the frequency. You know what I'm saying? Type shit. So these are innate abilities that we just have. You know what I'm saying? The more you practice them, the more they'll manifest. You'll start to see that this shit is real. It's not a fucking joke or a game. You know what I'm saying? And being that we going back into those fourth and fifth dimensions, and we, you know what I'm saying, the way things are shifting and all that, a lot of us are instantly the things that we're thinking, they're manifesting faster. Bow, bow, bow. Life is more microwave and instant. You know what I'm saying? So you gotta be careful what you think, and you want to be full of care of the thoughts that you're thinking. You know what I'm saying? So overstay and tap into the mind on this self-study Wednesdays, Mercury, you know what I'm saying? Get your mind right and all of that. You know what I'm saying? And stop being forgetful. Get off your ego sight. Get back into remembering, you know what I'm saying? And being the one who praises El. You know what I'm saying? It's been another galactic glorious day. Y'all traveling in harmony. Peace.